Hello everyone. So today we're going to talk about one of my favorite book series of all time. That is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Imagine a near future world where every year a lottery is held to select two teenagers, one boy and one girl, from each of the 12 districts to serve as tributes. These tributes are sent into the arena to fight until only one survivor remains. This is the world of The Hunger Games, a critically acclaimed trilogy hailed as a contemporary classic in young adult literature. The story set in a fictional nation called Panem, ruled by authoritarian capital, which uses fear and oppression to control the districts. One of their cruelest tools is the Hunger Games, an annual competition designed to remind citizens that defying the capital is futile. The first book, The Hunger Games. The story begins with 16-year-old Katniss Everdeen from District 12 when her younger sister Prim is chosen as a tribute for the 74th Hunger Games. Katniss volunteers to take her place, a decision that changes her life forever. She enters the arena alongside Peeta Mellark, a boy from her district that share a complicated past. In the arena, the tributes face not only each other but also deadly traps set by the capital. Katniss relies on her wits and archery skills to survive. Meanwhile, she and Peeta has to pretend to be star-crossed lovers to gain sympathy from the audience. At the end of the game, Katniss and Peeta defy the capital by threatening to commit suicides with poisonous berries, forcing the game makers to declare them co-victors. This act becomes a symbol of rebellion and ignites hope among the oppressed districts. The second book, Catching Fire. After winning the Hunger Games, Katniss and Peeta go home, but life is far from normal. Their actions make people in the district start fighting back, and President Snow sees Katniss as a threat. This year is the third Quarter Quell, a special Hunger Games that happen every 25 years with new rules. This time, the players are picked from the past winners, so Katniss and Peeta must go back to the arena. The arena is a deadly clock with new dangers appearing every hour. Later on, Katniss learns that she is a part of a bigger rebellion. She ends the game by shooting an arrow to destroy the arena, and the rebel rescued her, but the capital gets revenge by bombing District 12, turning it into ashes. Third book, Mockingjay. In the last book, Katniss joined the rebels in District 13, a secret underground place thought to be destroyed. This district has been planning to fight the capital for years. Katniss becomes the Mockingjay, a symbol of the revolution, but she faces hard choices as the war goes on. It becomes unclear who is good or who is bad. The capital tries to hurt Katniss by using Peeta, torturing him to make him hate her. In the end, the rebels win, but Katniss loses her sister tragically, and then she shoots President Coin, the rebel leader, when Coin tries to take power after Snow. One important theme in the Hunger Games is the inequality and unfairness in a system created by those in power. The Reaping, which forces children to join the deadly Hunger Games, is a clear example of this. And if we compare it to Thai society, the military draft through the black card, red card lottery has some similarities, both in structure and impact on those involved. In the Hunger Games, the Reaping is an annual event where one boy and one girl from each district are randomly chosen to enter the deadly games. A child's name is entered into lottery starting at the age of 12 and is added more times each year until they turn 18. And in Thailand, a military draft is a system where all men at the age of 20 participate in a lottery to determine their future. If they pick a black card, they are exempt from military service, and if they draw a red card, they must serve in the military for 2 years without exception. For many young men, this means putting their lives on hold, stopping their education, pausing their jobs, or being away from their families. The military draft lottery in Thailand is similar to the Reaping in the Hunger Games because both systems rely on luck to decide someone's fate, with no choice or negotiation for those selected. In the Hunger Games, being chosen often means, well, death. And for Thai men who draw the red card, it can mean losing opportunities during an important stage of life, or, in many cases, death as well. In recent case, Private Warapat Padmasakun was only a young soldier in training, suffered a brutal beating at the hands of his trainers and senior soldiers. The injuries were horrific: brain swelling, broken bones, and severe internal damage. Despite being sent to the hospital, he did not survive. After an investigation, 13 individuals, including trainers and their commanders, were found guilty. The court handed out prison sentences, with heaviest being 20 years. And this incident happened just 2 days before I recorded this video. That is how recent this is. Another case happened in the last year when Private Siriwataidi, a soldier under a Navy's training program, collapsed during physical training. He showed clear signs of exhaustion and distress, but instead of helping him, a trainer physically assaulted him and left him under the hot sun without medical care. He died shortly after. The Navy admitted some wrongdoing, but investigations are still ongoing. And lastly, the story of Private Vishen Puksom goes back to 2011. Private Vishen was punished for trying to escape from training. He was brutally beaten, which led to kidney failure, severe injuries. His family has fought for justice for over a decade, facing many challenges, including threats and delays in the court proceeding. And these cases represent just a fraction of the tragedies reported. Many others remain undocumented or have been silenced. This results in the mental pressure for those selected. They worry about an uncertain future and face tough training in military camps, which can lead to high stress or, in many cases, death. Many who go through this experience suffer emotional scar, similar to survivors of the Hunger Games. They may show signs of PTSD from facing intense and stressful situations. The harsh environment in the arena can be compared to the strict and oftentimes violent atmosphere in military camps as well. These experiences not only affect them in the short term, but can also leave deep emotional wounds that change how they live and interact with other people in the long run. Both the military draft lottery and the Hunger Games highlight social inequalities caused by structural system. In the Hunger Games, the tesserae system allows poor children to get extra food in exchange for adding their names more times in the lottery. This shows how the lower class faces greater risk just to survive. Similarly, in Thailand, the military draft is often criticized for favoring those with resources and power. Wealthy families can avoid the draft through programs like Territorial Defense School or RODO, or by paying bribes. Meanwhile, young men from ordinary or poor families often have no choice but to accept their fate. Another theme in the Hunger Games is the moral debate about war. Gale Hawthorne, a character determined to overthrow the capital, raises the question, is it necessary to break moral rules to fight injustice? Gale Hawthorne is a character who embodies the complexities of human nature and the effects of violence. His actions are often seen as ruthless and unforgiving, but when viewed through the lens of someone who has suffered oppression and violence from a very young age, his choices become more understandable. Though it doesn't make it right, Gale's character shows how trauma and injustice can shape a person's perspective and actions. So, let me introduce you to the concept of desensitization. What is it? Desensitization means becoming numb to violence. It's a trait that plays a key role in shaping Gale's identity and perspective. Growing up in the oppressive environment of District 12, violence wasn't just something Gale witnessed, but it was all he knew. This desensitization led Gale to believe that using violence, the same kind of power against the oppressor, was the only way to bring real change. Gale doesn't hesitate to use violence to achieve his goals. For example, he suggests bombing a mountain in District 2 to trap everyone inside, even if it means innocent people might get hurt. He argues that since the capital has no problem using power and violence against them, they shouldn't hesitate to do the same in return. However, while Gale believed that his action would create better society, the methods he chose caused immense loss. For example, his involvement in designing weapons that kill children and innocent people in the capital shows how easily one can justify harm in the name of greater good. This is no different from the capital saying that the Hunger Games are necessary in order to keep people in order. The Hunger Games trilogy is not just a story about characters and survival. It is a critique of power structures, injustice in the real world. The three-finger salute which has been used in so many political contexts, whether in Thailand or our neighbor country, is a clear example of how the book's message has transcended a fictional world and entered the real world. In a time when conflict, oppression, and war continue around the globe, this book serves as a powerful reminder that if we accept unjust authority and fail to question fairness, we may find ourselves in a grim reality similar to the world of Panem. I believe that in 10 or 20 years from now, its theme will still likely remain relevant and continuing to spark discussions and inspire change.